Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the Wake Up, everybody. This is day 601, and I'm Gina Leito-Diouf of Sankofa Sojourns. And today we'll be doing something fun, and you'll be watching some performances, and I hope you have a great time with it. We'll also do some meditation, and we'll have a great time. Good morning, Tamika. Good morning. I see Ice is here. I see Diana's here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see who else is in the space. Oh, so many people. Good morning, everyone. So many. Head Coach Sahu's feet is here. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Takia.
Morning, Anna. Good morning, Takia.
Good morning, Doreen. Good morning, Joy. I see Epic Kyra is in the house. Good morning, Epic Kyra.
Good morning, Gina.
Good morning. Oh, Majid is here. Salam alaikum.
Good morning, Gina. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Adam. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Betty is here. Good morning, Miss Betty. That's my mama. Good morning, mommy.
Good morning.
The names are coming in so fast and furious. I see Mama Abimbola's here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, family.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. To you as well. I see Coach Kadeem is here. Good morning, everyone. I think we're going to have a great time together. So, for today's session, I would normally say get some popcorn, some raisinets, but it's kind of early for that. So maybe some water, some tea, some grapes, something like that. And just open up your minds and hearts to these beautiful people who came, who say yes, and are here to share. Here to share the stories of how COVID has been impacting people around the world. Yes, and again, I am Gina Leito-Diouf of Sankofa Sojourns. I'll see you after the music.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay. So welcome to day 601 of the Wake Up Everybody movement. It is nice to see you all here in this space with us today. And today we're going to be doing something different for me. I wrote a play during COVID in 2020. And today we're going to be presenting it for the first time. So thank you so much for playing along with me. I do appreciate you saying yes and showing up today. So I am Gina Leito-Diouf of Sankofa Sojourns, and we talked a little bit in April about Sankofa Sojourns, and that is my business. And what we do at Sankofa Sojourns is we prepare excursions, we take trips together where we travel in the hopes of transforming things. Most of our trips are to places of historical significance for Black people so far in this country, but our ultimate trip will be as we return to Africa by ship, as we reverse the Middle Passage in our effort to heal racial trauma. Okay, so that is who we are. That is what we do at Sankofa Sojourns. Um, but before we begin, I would like to ask for permission to begin from our elders. So do we have anyone here that is over 80? Is there anyone over 78? Is there anyone between 75 and 78?
This is Apola.
Mama Abimbola, do we have permission to begin?
Yes, permission is granted.
Okay.
Bless.
Thank you, Mama Abimbola. Thank you. Okay. So that's the nature of what we do at Sankofa Sojourns. We travel and we transform. So we do have an upcoming excursion that we'll talk about later on today. And I'm sorry, hang on one second. Shawnee, do you need me to do anything?
You can actually get us started and then I'll jump in for the second half.
Okay.
Just there are a little bit of technical difficulty. So carry on, my beloved, and I got your back.
Thank you. So that is who we are. That's what we do at Sankofa Sojourn. So I have I can define it for you. I want to show you the definition of Sankofa Sojourns. When we talked about it last in April, there were a lot of questions and people did ask for more information. So we just broke it down for you. So Sankofa is simply, it's an Akan word from what's now the present time Ghana. Okay, so Sankofa is an Akan word or concept, which means it is not forbidden to go back and fetch what is at risk of being left behind. Okay, it is not forbidden, it's not taboo to go and fetch what is at risk of being left behind. A lot of times we can loosely translate it into go back and fetch it, go back and get something. So it's basically looking backward in order to move forward into your future. If you've seen the Sankofa bird, it's a bird whose head is facing back over its shoulder, and there's an egg representing the future. So it's looking back to move forward to the future. And it's broken down as San, S-A-N, as return. In Akan, that would be San. And Ko would be go. And Fa would be to look, seek, and take. Okay. And so that would be the Sankofa part of the title. And a sojourn is a temporary stay or visit. So it's when you go someplace, you don't necessarily live there, but you're taking a temporary stay there or perhaps a visit. And I say we can look at your sojourn as your time here in the US, or you can look at our sojourn as, us going places together. So it's all about the movement and the memory. Okay, so that is Sankofa Sojourns in a nutshell. We would like to dedicate today's presentation to two people. Do we have the dedication slide number 3 available?
Gina, can you bring, Donnie's having a little technical difficulty.
Sure, you. I can do it. Let me just share my screen.
There you go.
Okay, can everyone? Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Shawnee. Okay, so, all right. So this performance is dedicated to Bishop and Mrs. Riley. And I call them 2 in a million because we've lost about 1 million people to COVID. And these are 2 of the faces of the people that we've lost to COVID. And I know that this play is set in 2020 when we had no idea what was going on. There was no anything. We just were stuck in the house trying to wait this storm out. But These are two people, one we lost in December of 2021 and one in January of 2022. So we are still in the same, we're still engaged with COVID and we're still trying to navigate safely through this season. And so I did want to dedicate this performance to Bishop Dr. Malcolm C. Briley II and his wife, First Lady Debbie N. Briley. And they were living in Ohio. And one of the performers today is their daughter. And now, as far as our performers, I would like to share with you that only two of them actually perform things, as part of what they do on a regular basis. Most of the performers are people just like us. I put out a call, you may have seen it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I said, I wrote a monologue, I wrote plays, and I need people to read them. And these are people who said yes, people from across the country, people from across the world. And they said yes. And they volunteered their time and their effort and their technology, because this was all done recorded on Zooms and meetings. And they volunteered and they showed up. And I really, if we were in a room together, I'd ask you to give them a round of applause for saying yes and doing something and stretching and coming out of their comfort zone, and exposing themselves, as Shawnee says, to expand ourselves. And so I really do applaud them, and I appreciate my cast so much for doing this. And I could go on, but I won't. So without further ado, we'll present, and then the COVID monologue, and enjoy.
Before we move forward, I'm just asking the team to admit the folks that are at the door. We want to make sure that everyone is in the theater before we begin. So there we go.
Oh, okay, very good.
I have worked since I was 14 on the books, punching a clock, paying taxes, the works. I worked my way through school. I got my degree. I got a job, a good job. I had a couple of kids, my boys, Malcolm and Conrad, but never settled down with their dad. It just didn't work. And I wasn't going to settle like my parents. He was a great guy, just not father and husband material. But I didn't care. And after a while, I ended it. He was happy to get his beloved freedom back. And truth be told, I didn't need him. I could take care of myself and anybody that came along. So I was a single mom, working hard, but providing a good life for my boys. And then COVID. My boss, he got a paycheck protection loan. So we thought we were safe. Then the layoffs started. Then the company folded. Our industry became irrelevant in the world of coronavirus. But the government said, if you get unemployment, you'll also get an additional $600 per week. That was enough to cover me and my boys' expenses. So I figured I'd file for unemployment while looking for a job. And a look for a job is what I did. It became my full-time job. I set up a LinkedIn. I went on Glassdoor, studied up on how to ace a virtual job interview. I met with my ex-company's employment counseling firm, and they judged up my resume. I applied on every website around. I interviewed for government jobs that I knew I wasn't qualified to do, and I applied for jobs that I was way overqualified for. I applied and applied and applied and applied some more. I was offered a few warehouse jobs, some delivery positions, and now I do some rideshare driving. But none of these jobs replaced the salary I was making at my company. It took 2 months for all the paperwork to go through. But just as I was running out of savings, my unemployment benefits finally started. It made life livable for a while, but those benefits are running out next month. Hopefully, I'll find a job before that happens.
Thank you, admin. If we could go to the next slide.
Yeah, hold on. Something's happening with them. Please stand by.
The other big boys of the village would go into the city. It was a long and dark walk along the side of the road. It was dangerous too. One night, Clinton was hit by a car, but he was all right. After he came to finish the journey with us, no one was going to miss out on this particular night as it was Friday. We always got so excited when we could feel the heat of the city beneath our city shoes. We always tried to dress a little nicer in case one of the city dwellers noticed us. He didn't want to stand out. Once we smelled the exhaust fumes on the air, we knew soon we would see the lights of the city. Once we reached the city, we would split up in teams of 3. Good things always come in 3s, and begin scouting around. Friday nights were especially rewarding, though during the day, the housekeepers would do a thorough house cleaning and then head home for the weekend if it was their weekend off. They always did a special deep cleaning and had lots of trash to put out Friday nights. Sometimes they put out entire flat screen televisions, would find books, clothing, and even home furnishings. Sometimes they were still in the original packaging for beggars like us. This would be a bountiful harvest. Once they found a good haul, the boys would stay and guard the treasure, and the fastest boys would go running to alert the other teams. If you want to go far, go together, but if you want to go fast, go alone. All of the runners would meet up at a designated spot to compare treasure finds. A lively discussion would follow about who had found the best treasures. The most convincing boy would prevail, and the others would be alerted by their respective runners. We would all meet up at the treasure trove and began the core process of packing of the treasures to be held home. We repeated this process until each of us had full loads to bring home. This was not work for girls or small boys. We load ourselves down and walk the night road with our arms full. Strongest boys carried their loads on their backs. They needed to keep their hands free in case we ran into predators in the night. The 4-legged kind as well as 2. And when we finally reached home, the sun was usually about to come up. We'll slip into our village and bring our treasure to the elders. They will evaluate our treasure and pay us according to the assessed valuation. We fed our families with the payment we received, usually millet, yam, oil, perhaps a chicken, or even a small sheep. On a few occasions, we actually paid in cash. It was dangerous work, but very lucrative. And then COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, hit. First, the treasure troves got smaller and less bountiful. Then the competition became very fierce. And suddenly, we were competing with big women and men. And sometimes could not even make it to the city safely. One group of boys were set up in the night and badly beaten. All of the treasures were stolen. Then the big boys started getting sick. Our mothers fashioned face masks for us to wear, but it was already too late. Myself and many others contracted COVID-19 and brought it back to our compounds. I lost one grandmother, one of my mothers, and my little aunt. Eventually, I recovered from COVID-19 and regained my strength. Once I got better, I had to help the other big boys bury our dead. My little auntie had also seen eight rainy seasons, according to the village records. This has been the saddest time for our village in many years. Our only consolation is that our villagers are now our ancestors. May they watch over us as we fight to survive this plague.
Okay, thank you. And my screen. I'll show you, we had some technological issues. It is what it is, but we're gonna move forward. That was Roland. Roland recorded that in Benin City, Nigeria, with me, and it was an amazing time. I'll just show you his picture so we can see his face in the place today. So if you can see my screen, you can see that is Roland, who portrayed our villager. Okay, so we're gonna move forward with the next video. Okay, this is Lazy AF with Anna from Seattle. Everyone see my screen.
I'm so not doing anything today. And I'd like to see anybody try and make me. I used to enjoy getting up, going to work, taking the train, doing the whole commuter
I'm sorry, folks. Sorry, technology.
thing. I had my routine. Get to work, sign in, go get breakfast, come back, check my social media, post my outfit of the day at work pic. Then my day could start. The first order of business was figuring out what we would order for lunch. Once that was handled, I take my calls, do my work, get shit done. You know, not the most productive employee as far as the work goes, but luncheons and office parties, that's where I shine. My office Halloween parade costume contest was the truth. That particular event has broken up friendships. My annual holiday gala was legendary. People flying from corporate to be there. I may not be the best customer service rep, but I know my strengths. So I had wrapped up our Valentine's chocolate bar. See what I did there? Wrapped up. You get it. Anyway, I had put a bow on that event, and I was all set for the big St. Patty's Day beer garden. And then COVID. March 17th found us all trying to work from home, as if that's any fun. First, my laptop had issues. Then I had issues. And finally, I figured out how to use my superior planning skills to avoid working. There's the old, my Wi-Fi just quit. Then there's the building has lost power. My latest one is everything looks good on my end, I just can't seem to connect to you guys. You want to send someone from IT to check it out? Until COVID is over, I plan to do as little as possible. But wait until they see the welcome back from quarantine party that I'm planning.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So, family, at this time, I'd like us to pause, because this is a Wake Up Everybody movement and it's a conversation. So, I'd like to invite you to raise your digital hand if you'd like to share a reflection or, discuss what you just saw of those first 3 monologues. And admin, I don't know if there's anything in the chat that you can share that you've seen.
As your support here, Gina, there's nothing in the chat yet, but we can definitely hear from some of our community members. We have Aaliyah with a hand raised. Aaliyah, could you please unmute and share with us, please?
Yes, Grand Rising. Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Sister Gina. This is wonderful. Thank you for showing this. I wanted to touch base on the second performer or character, Roland. I was able to hear some of it, and I think I understand, but I want to just kind of get a synopsis of, what the brother was trying to express in his journey.
Sure. So Roland's character was the villager. So Roland lives in Benin City in Nigeria. His character is expressing that he was somebody who lived off of his work. He and some of the other older children in his town would go, I'm sorry, someone's off mute, would go into a particular city and they would go through the things that other people discard, because everywhere around the world, there's always people who overconsume and then they just discard things. And those things, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So these people, these young men, would go to the city and go through the trash that people would put out, and they would bring that stuff back home to their village, where the community would pay them for their labor, and then they would in turn take the things that the young men brought back and they would use them or sell them to make money to keep their community going. It was a communal effort, and that was the part he played until COVID came. COVID hit his village hard because it hit his entire area, and people weren't putting out trash anymore. People weren't consuming as much anymore. So it was sort of like a supply chain issue, the same way we have in this world, the supply chain, that is their supply chain. And then a lot of the young men who would go and pick up the stuff, pick up the trash, or what they call their treasures, started contracting COVID themselves. They brought it back to their village. A lot of people, were lost due to COVID. And he shares, some of the people that he lost personally, and that the strong young men of the village, and now instead of going out and bringing treasures back, are now tasked with digging graves and burying the people that they lost in their village. And that is basically the villager's story. It wasn't set in any particular country, but when I met with Roland, he decided, this is set in Africa. I'm going to do it as an African because I'm an African. And I said, go for it. And so he, in his mind, set it, in a village in Africa, even though he and I had a little debate about that, because he felt there's no such village like this. But I see what this is. This is a community, and this we have in Africa. So that is the villager's story. Aaliyah, thank you.
Wow, thank you. Powerful.
Thank you. If anyone else has anything that they would like to share or any other reflections, now is the time to raise your digital hand. Oh, and just so you know, there are a lot of the performers, they're here today in the Zoom space. And so after we see all of the monologues, we'll have Q&A with them in case you have any questions, for them personally.
I would like to share, Gina, some stuff that came in the chat while we're waiting for someone who might raise their hand. We have a comment from Kaisha, and Kaisha said, those monologues were very relatable. It was great to include the villager to give us an insight into how people in other countries responded to the epidemic. It's unfortunate their livelihoods were affected and village members were lost. And
Thank you.
we have another comment here from Zakia, who said, you have captured very interesting perspectives, beloved. Your broad insight is intriguing. Well done, beloved.
Thank you, Mama Z. Thank you.
I was going to chime in.
Someone wants to share?
Yeah, this is Shawnee, and definitely would love to hear from the community. There's loads to say, even if it's not your exact story. What stood out for me is intense and unexpected shifts in livelihood, in flow, in agency, and feelings of competency. You know, just listening to the first sister, and I can't remember what the segment was, Unemployed, I think it was called. And to me, that means so much more than what the word, how the word is defined. When I think about employed, I think about being industrious, being productive, being aligned with what you're called to do, being able to produce income, as well as a feeling of efficiency, effectiveness, and a meaning, especially if you're doing the stuff that you love. And so when I heard the sister say that she was reaching out, doing all of this work, and that looking for a job became a full-time job, what came up for me is just thinking about the emotional roller coaster. I know for me, I'm a very productive person, and I didn't miss a beat with COVID. And I know that wasn't the truth for a lot of people, or the circumstance for a lot of people. And my business expanded, but then on the continuum, there were folks on the opposite end of the spectrum. And, you know, as a clinician, I think about how when one is not able to produce, especially if you're very tied to work, you can start to feel useless, depressed, and some people even commit suicide. So that's what came up for me, just the intensity and how one story can be like, COVID happened, hooray, my life transformed, I'm able to rest. And the difference between having resources and privilege and access and not. So I just wanted to put that into the space and something that came up for me.
Thank you. Thank you for that perspective, Lonnie. I appreciate it.
I would like to share another comment, Gina, before we move forward. Sukina D, and if I pronounce that wrong, please forgive me. She said, they said, I think for better or worse, our lives have changed dramatically these past 2 years. And we now, like the characters, have to reckon with that. I think it's important to recognize what we've been through before we try to go back to our quote unquote regular lives.
Thank you for that share. That's Sukana. Thank you, Sukana. Wise words. That's true. And I agree. I agree with you 100%.
And we have another compliment for you from Miss Denise West, who said you did an awesome job of showing how people had to pivot, and these are real life stories. And a share from Facebook, we hear from a Facebook family here. D.Y. Foster says, love seeing different stories that enables us to see how others were impacted. The last character, isolation is real. The shift from going into office and now working from home has not been easy for people who love to socialize. Story number 1 and 2, story 1, 2, incomes now. Yay, that's an adjustment. Okay, a few more comments are coming in, but I would love, you can let me know if you want to hear those other comments, or would you like to move forward?
We are going to move forward and thank you everybody for the comments and the feedback. We have a few more monologues to get through. If you just bear with me, let me get them ready for you. Want you to be able to see the whole screen. One second.
Let me bring a comment from the Zoom space while you're preparing that, Gina.
Okay.
Okay, this came from Adam. Adam says, I feel COVID personally has made me stronger and made me more grateful for what I have. Beautiful comment, Adam.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for that perspective. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty. So we are going to move forward. Admin, I'm going to share my screen. If you could let me know what you're seeing when I do.
Sure.
Okay. Are you seeing it in full screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Wake up everybody community. I know y'all know a little bit about everything. What do I need to click on so that we are looking at this?
Next to the minus button on the Zoom, just to the left of the minus button on the Zoom on the bottom right is the presentation mode.
Oh,
so just
okay.
go over to that
I'm ready.
icon that looks like a little, I don't know, like a sheet being pulled down to the projector screen. Over to the right of your screen where the 64% is at the bottom.
At the
And
bottom.
then
I'm
just
at
to
the
the
top.
left of that minus, just to the left of that minus is a
Thank
projector
you.
screen. That one, that's the one you want.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay. Can everyone? I did it. Okay.
There it is.
Hey.
All right. We will continue with the man's story. This is Nitish Dewan from India.
I have been doing a lot of running these days. It gets me out of the house. This working from home is bullshit. This whole COVID reality is bullshit. My life has been turned upside down. I know everyone can say that now, but I mean my life has really changed. I know it looked like I had it all, beautiful wife, a great kid, making tons of money, the house, the car, the life, And I hate to sound like a douche, but it was all so empty. I had to cheat just to get a little oomph in my life. It was all so boring. I know it's what I supposed to want, but one day I thought, is this my life? So I changed it. Then I found her. She was anything but boring. She was so sexy, exciting, and different. When I was with her, life had flavor. And I was alive, maybe for the first time ever. Send the wife to the spa, and mother would take the baby for the weekend. I would get to spend 2 days really living. We didn't do anything big or special, no trucks, no flight to catch, nobody to impress. I could just be myself, and that was enough for her. It was simple and beautiful. Then COVID changed everything. I couldn't send the wife away. We had to go on lockdown together. My wife and daughter are always at home, literally always. So I had to do the responsible thing and quarantine with my family. Social distancing doesn't allow a lot of space for, well, let's just say that there are some things you can't do from 6 feet away. So now I run all of the time. I run and I work and I work and I run. I have never been so active, but it helps to release frustration and takes my mind off work. Who am I kidding? It gives me time to think about it.
This is crazy. Starring Sister Lulu out of Ohio.
Yes, this ride has been crazy. I had a nice, simple life. Husband, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Had myself a nice little job too. I didn't make a lot, but my husband was a good provider. I made enough to have my pocket money, little extras, you know, the things that we wanted but didn't really need. Oh, I had it all. And we were moving along nicely through life, or so I thought. So I was shocked when my husband came up and told me he was leaving me and the kids for another woman. Oh, sister was 12, Junior was only 10, and I told him, I can't raise our kids without you. He said, you're right. Then he took my babies with him when he left. I got a lawyer and I fought for custody, but I lost. I only got to see my babies on Wednesdays and Sundays. And every other summer they stayed with me. Just wasn't the same. Turned out my nice little job didn't pay any of my bills. Baby, we were deep in debt. Oh, found out that my husband had took out a second mortgage and didn't even tell me. Yeah, I got the house and all his past due bills in the divorce. Divorce. So I'm hunting for a better job and went to college at night. It's gonna take a while, but I'm patient. But then my mama died. Got hit by a drunk driver in a car accident, driving the wrong way on the interstate. Oh. So I sold the house. Downsized to a 1-bedroom, affordable rent apartment. Tried to start getting my finances in order, and I was on an antidepressant, even though I had lost my husband, my babies, and my mama. The gloom was just starting to lift. And then COVID. Oh, my nice little job had to close its doors after 48 years in the business because of coronavirus. Took forever to get unemployment. And then even that eventually ran out. I couldn't even pay my affordable rent. I lost my apartment too. Oh, I was completely alone. So I put my furniture in storage and just took what I needed and packed it in bags. I started walking. But to where? I don't know. I don't even know. Figured I'd find a room to rent or something. And my first night out on the streets, I was approached by a woman. I thought she was a panhandler, about to ask me for some money or something. So I started getting my stuff together and I'm getting ready to run, you know? But instead she's asking me for money. She offered to help me. Talking about she was an outreach worker for the unhoused. I said, unhoused? What does that mean? And she said, you know, the homeless. It turns out that I had become one of the homeless and didn't even know it, baby. Just like that. Yes, this ride has been crazy.
This is a familiar face for those of us who are regulars on the Wake Up, Coach Kadeem.
Have you ever had a good thing right in the palm of your hands? I mean, something so perfect it made you feel hope again. Well, I thought I did. I had a lot of good clients, but there was this one guy, and he was special. Let's call him John. Well, John and I had a setup where once a month he would have me come to his house and I'd cook for him. Then I clean up the dishes and we sit on the couch and talk. He do most of the talking. He had a lot on his mind all the time. After we finished talking, we go to the bedroom. Yes, the one he shares with his wife. And I would earn enough money in that room in one weekend to keep me off the streets for weeks. I'll be honest, at first it was all about making a shitload of easy money. I could act like a suburban housewife with the best of them. I even went to the farmer's markets to pick up some fresh stuff to season the food. And John was always so grateful. He would eat like he hadn't eaten in a month. I think his wife didn't like to cook with spices. But I gotta give it to that girl, her lingerie chest was a fire. She spared no expense when it came to looking sexy for her man. But I guess he just wanted something different. Our shit got so good that John was talking about buying me an apartment in the city. He wanted to fix it so that I didn't see anybody but him. And I'm not gonna lie, I was down for that shit. And then COVID. John had to quarantine with his family, and there was no way for him to get away. He cash apps me money from time to time from a private account he has, but I'm a working man. If I wanted handouts, it would have gone to welfare. So I'm back out here again. But business is slow, because in my line of work, it's no social distancing. I mean, there are just some things you can't do from 6 feet away.
Okay, family, let's breathe. And we're going to pause for a minute here for reflection. So if anybody has anything that they would like to share or any reflections on any of those last three monologues, please raise your digital hand. And while we're waiting for that, admin, is there anything in the chat that you'd like to share?
There's a hand up, Cheryl Martinez. Cheryl, can you unmute, please?
Good morning, family.
Morning.
Give thanks so much for being here and sharing this, because the first sister that spoke about the relationship, just the changes that went on with that, and then with COVID and with jobs, and I could definitely relate to those things, and being so thankful that I was not the outcome that she had, and that I was able to go out and find other sources of income and really make it work hard, but for my family, and able to still keep moving forward. So I was just thankful. It did give me great thanks, like, wow, situations could turn out totally different. And it's definitely a mindset that I'm working on as well. So I appreciate you presenting this, and just seeing it from a different perspective, like opens your eyes, like, whoa. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. I appreciate that. Yes, it does, it gave us different perspectives on things. And it does make us grateful. Like Shawnee shared, she didn't miss a beat with COVID, and her business actually expanded. So it impacted some of us in different ways, in positive ways. And we can reflect on that and be grateful. We can reflect on that and be grateful. Does anyone else have anything they would like to share? Okay.
Let me really highlight, because we saw 3 segments. The relational segment, I'm curious community. So there were folks who experienced huge shifts. Oh, actually, the sister with the relational segment and the brother with the relational segment, like being with his wife and baby. He said literally always. And then the sister talking about experiencing this divorce, fighting for custody, then not having enough money to make ends meet, and being experiencing challenges around home housing issues, or being undomiciled. So I'm sure there's something in this for folks to speak on. So anybody want to share shifts like that, relational shifts, financial shifts, shifts in your well-being, because life is as you knew it got turned upside down. Is anybody willing to share from that perspective? Raise your digital hand. I see a hand is up. Thank you, Jackie. So if you can come off mute.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, love.
That was beautiful, Gina, and it just inspired me to write more about that, because that was supposed to be my last year working, in my celebratory year of retiring, and it just anyway. I noticed one of the shifts in the relationship area that Shawnee was speaking of was in my marriage. It was always troubled, but then that brought it to such a head that I had no choice but to get help, because we're in the house with each other every single day, 24/7 at this point. And there was no way that I could continue to pretend that everything was okay. So I had to get some help. And it started with me. But I noticed that a lot of people were in the same boat with me. And one of the things I noticed too was that sitting in the house and you start to see everything that's wrong. You see everything that you think is wrong, and everything in the house. So you think you can just fix up the house and maybe you'll feel better about it. But then eventually you come to the point where you know you got to fix you. And that's where I'm at. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you for that share. And yes, Sister Jacqueline, you've been so transparent throughout your journey with us here on Wake Up Everybody. So we've all seen the changes and the shifts. And thank you for sharing that with us. It's very powerful. And I'd just like to bring to our attention that it's 7:56. 7:56. I know that some people may have to transition away from our Wake Up Everybody this morning. You may be going to church, you may be going to work, you may just have things that you need to do. So thank you for sharing this hour with us. And you can always come back and watch the replay on Facebook. And if you have any comments on Facebook, you can put them in the chat on Facebook and we can interact that way. My contact information is also on the screen. So you can find me everywhere with Sankofa Sojourns. And there's also my email, sankofasojourns@gmail.com, if you'd like to share anything. But if you do have to leave, I understand. And I appreciate you sharing your valuable time with me and all of the rest of us. Okay. So we do have 3 more monologues to share. and then we'll do some more reflecting so that I carry on with that. Oshawa in North Carolina.
I had done everything the way I was expected to. I got straight A's all through school. I was valedictorian in high school, 4.0 Dean's List in college, and landed my dream job. In fact, I had just aced my first performance review at work with flying colors. Granted, I had put my personal life on hold while I was focusing on everything else because I didn't want to be distracted. But once everything was on the right track, I decided to start my personal life with a winning strategy, of course. I signed up with an online dating service, downloaded a reputable app, and my mother even hired a matchmaker. I'll bet you didn't know they still existed. We figured with the old wisdom and the new technology, I couldn't fail. I was looking for my first home when my father got sick, and I had to postpone my search so that I could help my parents get through their crisis. He got sicker and sicker, and then he died, and we were all just crushed. I mean, there was no way that I could leave my mother now, so I stuck by her and we got through it together. As time passed, we reignited my strategy for finding my personal life, and I was all set for my first real date on Sadie Hawkins Day, and then COVID. Beware the Ides of March. The matchmaker arranged for us to postpone the date, figuring it'd be safe to go out in 2 weeks or so. But then we all went on lockdown and there was no place to go and nobody felt safe going out. After a few weeks of phone chats with my match, we arranged a Zoom date. I mean, awkward. Needless to say, it was a bust. But I kept on trying with my strategy. I mean, dating in COVID is a real challenge. I'm not that confident with being on camera and center stage like that with all eyes on me. The dates I had imagined for years were so much better because of the great locations they took place in. I envisioned going to the movies, plays, and restaurants, not sitting in my room trying to look interested or interesting. And don't get me started on the people who are just looking for hookups. They're so bored on lockdown that they would risk their lives and mine to get with somebody, anybody. I've been through quite a few pitfalls online and with online dating and COVID, but the worst thing for me is the ghosting. I mean, some people don't even consider these real dates, so they have no qualms about not logging on at the agreed upon time. And that really hurts, especially in COVID. You don't know if they are blowing you off or if they actually died of COVID. Anyways, I prefer to think of them as actual ghosts now because they're dead to me. May they rest in peace. And I mean, my mother, she's pulling herself together and I think that she can handle living on her own. So I'll be back on the apartment hunt soon. Hopefully I re-implement my strategy and get some sort of structure back in my life and find someone who is COVID-free and right for me. I had done everything.
And we have a second monologue done by our own Coach Kadeen.
Bro, I gotta say, COVID-19 has been good to me. Look, like, thanks to COVID, I'm getting paid out the ass and I'm getting so many primo assignments from the boss. There is no way I'm not getting a promotion once all this is done. I'll admit it, I was kind of slacking off at work. Actually, I was just coasting along. Honestly, I'm pretty sure HR was about to issue me a warning. Then there was the credit card thing that I did. Yikes. You take one little $1,000 cash advance and everyone freaks out. It wasn't my fault they sent me to Vegas for that meeting. What did they expect me to do? Stay in that room alone all night? Spend my own money on those girls? Well, anyway, I was waiting for them to give me the axe and then COVID hit. Everyone had to lock down and quarantine, but business is business and the show must go on. After a few months, they needed to cut all the Zoom crap and have some face-to-face encounters. We were losing money. Can I help it? If the family man couldn't take those trips out of town, I made it clear to my boss that I had no problem hopping on a flight to be wherever he needed someone to be the face of the company. I mean, I've been to Brazil, Mexico, Turkey, pretty much anywhere they don't care about COVID. They pay for all my expenses and give me a cash incentive for going, sort of like hazard pay. Sure, I had COVID a couple of times. I think I keep picking it up on the flights. I hate masking up, so whenever I can, I take it off. I was kind of sick for a couple of weeks each time, but I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't need a respirator. Hell, I didn't even quarantine. It's not like anybody enforces it. It's an honor system, and I'm no Boy Scout. Once I got my cough under control, I was back on Tinder, baby, and a man's got to do what a man's got to do. So thanks to COVID, I've upgraded to this sweet apartment and no more roommates for me, and I'm finally killing it at life.
And our final monologue is Tamika, the manifester.
"2019 was terrible. I lost loved ones, my relationship, and my job, in that order. By the summer, I was ready to curl up into a big ball and die. I never got a chance to recover from one hit, and then wham, I get hit again. It almost took me out. I was going through the motions, pretending that I wasn't a giant aching open wound. Pain was festering, but I soldiered on. I lost my best friend and her baby due to some strange illness that no one could even diagnose or cure. The baby went first, and 1 week after his funeral, my best friend just let go. She stopped fighting for her life and passed away. After losing them both, I really didn't give a shit about anything. When things ended with my boyfriend, I was too numb to even care. I was basically sleepwalking through work, and I guess it started to show. They called me in one day and told me that they have to let me go. They wished me well. Got a nice severance package and promises to write me a letter of recommendation once I had gotten myself some help. So there I was, grieving, alone, and jobless. I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing. After 2 months of that, I decided to go into a cocoon and not come out until I had become a butterfly. I read books on grief and loss. I took classes online about starting a small business. Really figured some things out about myself that winter. I even made a vision board. I called it my 2020 vision with an exclamation point in everything. And then COVID. I had to watch my dreams fade, but surprisingly, I came up with new ones. I went into the business of online teaching. I taught makeup to people who wanted to be influencers. I taught French lessons for people who were dying to travel but couldn't, and they were homebound due to COVID. I gave online cooking classes for people looking to expand their repertoire and healthy options during quarantine. I figured if I can do it, I would teach it. Little by little, the businesses took root and money started coming in. I knew I had to make it happen for myself. It's what I used to always talk about with my best friend. I figured I live enough for two people now to honor her legacy. So as 2020 wraps up, I still don't have a job, but I have a few thriving businesses. Can't back Carly or her little man, but I can use their lives to inspire me to keep moving forward. As for relationships, I'm still cocooning around that one. Right now, I'm only in relationships with small things that purr. You know, crazy as it sounds, 2020 really has been my year, thanks to COVID.
Okay, family. Thank you. That concludes our slides, our presentation. Does anyone have anything that they want to share? Anything that came up? Or any reflections on the last three monologues?
Good morning, Miss Gina. That was so beautiful, Sister Gina. This is Teresa. I can't come on the camera right now, but what came for me just now was that how much COVID actually saved me, and so it really saved my life. So it's still saving my life because I have the opportunity to meet so many beautiful people that I would have never met if COVID not, even though I had a lot of tragedies and different things, but I met so many people. I was able to come on Wake Up. I'm on so many different online places, and it's actually changed my life. There's been some sad times, but I'm just grateful for COVID. And when I really think about it, it saved me. It saved my mind. It saved so much stuff. It saved like what I thought about life. It showed me so many beautiful things about life that I really was not, looking at. And I got a different spiritual connection. So thank you for just reminding me of what COVID has done for me in spite of all the losses and different things that happened for everyone, but it actually saved me. And I appreciate this display, and I'm just so proud of what you're doing. And I'm complete, sister. Love you. Mwah.
Thank you, Mama Teresa. Your bowl of hearts. You, thank you. That is so true for so many people, and that's kind of why I wrote that particular monologue because there is an upside to it. Unfortunately, with all of the death and the illness and the loss, some people have been able to rise, and what do they say, like a phoenix out of the ashes of COVID. A lot of businesses have been born. This Woo platform is here now. And so a lot of good things did come from COVID, in spite of all the pain and all of the loss of life and transitioning souls. We have something in Facebook to share. There's some
Oh,
Facebook
Gina,
comments.
yeah, I wanted to share from Facebook. There were quite a few shares, but I'll share Jim's. Jim McBean L says that the stories have been compelling and profound, and it makes her grateful that even though she experienced a pulmonary embolism during COVID, she's recovering and getting better and better. And Robin St. Clair says, the beginning of COVID was very eventful for me. I reactivated my role as a facilitator in Wake Up Everybody community and had a very high vibration. Working from home and doing everything virtual was a challenge at first, but very resourceful and successful. Staying home also allowed me to save a great deal of money and I shifted my circumstance from facing a foreclosure to a deferment on a home loan to 2042. And so I also wanted to share that one of the reasons that there's not so many comments and there's not so much to say coming from the Wake Up community is because we found this community that was founded in COVID, and it's been a lifeline for all of us. It's been a gift from the Creator for all of us. And it's been, for me, I know what's supported me, what's grounded me, what's given me something specific to do, something to wake up early in the morning to be activated and motivated around. And I really don't have, other than losses and people who suffered and feeling empathy and sympathy for those, I really don't have any major losses from COVID other than my own mobility. But the Wake Up community has been a platform that has given me life. And I believe that one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of people saying, what their story was is because they're part of this community that's given so many of us life.
Ashe, I see it that way too, and I understand exactly where you're coming from. That's so true. Let's see, do we have any hands raised or anyone who wanted to share anything?
Yes, we do. We have more time with a hand raised, but before my time, I saw a hand, I think it was Dakia. Dakia, are you still willing to share?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that all the monologues were great. I just related to bits and pieces of them. COVID was just really a stressful time. Being in quarantine with my autistic son was very stressful. While being pregnant, and then going through the whole pregnancy, being perfectly fine to winding up with a stillborn. So that was a major loss, because it was unexpected and it was just not something that ever had happened in my family line, without a reason, because those things do happen. They either happen early in the pregnancy or if they happen late in the pregnancy, you know exactly why, right? But I had no answers. So that was very devastating for me. Then having to still work, because I was working still. I was thankful for that as well, actually. But it was like I had no time to pause. I still had to be a mother to my autistic son, who very much needed me. And then I still had to work, and I still had to be strong. Then relationship-wise, I was in a toxic relationship that brought me to my lowest. So when I got out of it, and then I got into something right after, I didn't give myself time to heal. So then I bled out on that person that was amazing. And then I'm at a point now where I'm just like numb. So COVID was just like the worst year of my life. I never experienced anything like that. And I felt like trauma has just been coming since. So I'm just starting my healing process. And I thank the Woo team because I never knew this was an outlet. So this whole time, I just started May 17th. And I want to say thank you because everyone, since I started, has given me hope to keep going. I get on every day that you have a episode, a Zoom, and I just feel like, okay, I can make it through. Just listening to people. And I just want to say thank you.
Sister Dakia, thank you. Thank you for that transparency, and thank you for being a part of this community. And if you would just take a breath with me and with all of us, so we could all breathe with Sister Dakia. Sister Dakia, we're sending you healing and covering and light and love and strength. This is a strong community. We got your back. Everyone, and thank you again, Sister Dakia. Just you're, as you said, you're making you're on your healing journey now. You know, you've gone through things, unimaginable things, and things will continue to happen because that's life. But you're learning skills and you're gaining the tools and the knowledge so that you'll know how to heal from these things, how to move forward from these things. This community does have quite a few tools and some powerful people that can help you with that. I don't know how you found us, but I'm hoping that you are in touch with Coach Shawnee because she has the remembering you, remembering you know, I'm not sure, I don't want to say the name wrong, Coach Shawnee, but it's a virtual support group around loss, fetal loss, maternal loss, stillbirths. All of these things happen to all of us at different times, different things. And thank you, Coach Shawnee, remembering you, remembering us, the virtual support group. So if you're not a part of that, I strongly recommend that you join in on a couple of those meetings or all of them because they are wonderful for supporting just in situations that you've been through, you know, a stillbirth, you know, the trauma that you've been through. This is going to help you heal. That much I know. I highly, highly recommend, I don't know if you've already done Be the Tree, Rites of Passage for Women, but if you have not, I highly recommend that you do that as well. You will gain so much insight into yourself and into how you can keep moving forward and how you can, you know, work through these things. You can work through these things. We have all gone through something and we can all benefit from learning what tools we can use, you know, to handle them. Basically, we just need to get a handle on some of these things. Great. So the next introductory session for Be the Tree is in the chat as well. And you will have stars to support you and reflect your beauty and your strength back to you because you probably are not feeling it right now, but you still have it and you're still you. Okay, so I would just like to offer that to you. And community, I know there are some hands raised, but I think this is a time for us to pause. And we're going to go off camera and we're going to do a little meditation because a lot has come up for all of us. This has stirred up a lot of traumatic memories. Sometimes this hasn't even happened to you, but you are watching somebody else act out this traumatic stuff and it's stirring us up. So I'd like us to take a pause and get grounded and let some of that trauma go. So I invite you to go off camera if you're on camera, and please make sure you're on mute so that we can let everybody fully experience this release. Okay. So breathe out. Shake your head a little bit. Okay. Everyone, close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes and breathe in. And hold that breath in and scrunch up your face. Shut your eyes tight. Smudge up your lips, pucker like you're eating a lemon. Hunch your shoulders up and hold your breath. But if you need to breathe, I don't want you to pass out. Okay, so just be within reason. But as long as you can, I'd ask you to hold your breath while you're doing this. You're gonna hunch your shoulders up, ball your fingers up, ball up your toes, curl up your toes, tense up your stomach, tense up your thighs, tense up your butt cheeks, tense up your entire body. Okay, I want you to just be a ball, tense it, bring it all in, and hold your breath. Now breathe out. Breathe out. Let it go. And again, I invite you to breathe in through your nose, hold it Tense up your face, hunch up your shoulders, roll up your fist, clench your gut, clench your butt, thighs, calves, any muscles that you can, toes, curl them up, hold it, and let it out. Breathe out. Okay. So now I'd like you to sit with your eyes closed and just breathe in through your nose and feel the air go down your throat, past your chest. Your ribs may expand. And let that breath get down into your belly. And now breathe it out of your mouth. So let's breathe it in again. We've seen a lot of trauma. We've felt a lot of things. So we need to let these things go. We don't want to hold this and take it with us. Breathe it out. Breathe in again. Breathe in relaxation. Breathe in healing. And breathe out the tension and the trauma. Let it go. Breathe in. Ooh, clean, fresh energy. And let it flow through all of your cells as it heals you. Let the air flow. Let the oxygen go through your body. Let it go to where the healing is needed. If you're having an issue with your ear this morning, let the energy go to the ear. If you're having an issue with your heart this morning, your lung, let it go to your heart, your lung. If your muscles are feeling tired or weak or overtaxed, let the energy go there. I'm going to breathe in healing. Breathe out trauma, worry, money woes, health fears, and letting them go. And breathing in, grounding, so that we know that we have everything we need inside of us to deal with any issues that we encounter. Breathe out. Breathe in the healing and the knowledge that everything that we experience is for our growth and our benefit. Breathe out any trauma, any residual pain, any fear about moving forward in joy. And just gonna take one deep breath in and hold it. And hold it. 1, 2, hold it. 3, 4, 5, 6, hold it. 7, 8, 9, 10, hold it. 11, 12, 13, you got this. 14, hold it. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Breathe in and hold it. Now breathe out and be grateful for the breath that we take for granted that happens automatically. But let's be honest, we don't know which one is going to be our last one. So let's be grateful for every single breath and every single moment. And let's live in the joy of that gratitude. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your breathing return to normal. Gently move your head from side to side. Wake up that connective tissue. Gently shimmy your shoulders, shoulder circles. Open your hands, wiggle your fingers and toes. And open your eyes. And let's come back. Okay, family. This 8:27. So I do have the cast here, and I did want you to be able to talk to them if you had any questions for them. So I may need about another 10 minutes. So if you don't mind, if we could hang in there until 8:40 or so, if I have your permission to do that, we can continue. So, and if you need to transition away now, I understand that as well. And I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so my cast members who are here, would you be so kind as to come on camera? Let's see, I'm going to try to see who the participants are and see who's here. So I know Anna's here because she helped me with the tech. So Anna, if you would like to come on screen. And if cast members, if you're not up to it, you don't have to come on screen. Just unmute yourself, let us know you're here. And I know, let's see, I know Coach Kadeem was here in the space. I know Marshall's here. I'm just looking through to see if anyone else made it in. Anika, I'm not sure if you're here. I'm sorry, I can't see all the names. Lulu, I don't know if you're here either. Okay. So we have Coach Kadeem and we have Mashallah Salam. If you don't mind, if we could unspotlight me and spotlight the cast members so that we can see them. I can. Mashallah, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. And Tamika, are you here?
I am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And if there's anybody here in the cast that I didn't see your name, it's not because I don't want to. It's just, it's hard for me to see all the participants. So if you're here, please come on screen. And this would be the time when you would be taking your bows and we would be clapping for you and we would be telling you what an awesome job you did. So I would like to say thank you. Thank you for stepping up, for saying yes. And doing this. I know that, well, you know, for a lot of people in the cast, this was a brand new experience, something that we had they've never done before. Not professional actors, not, you know, performers. Some performers, some were used to this, and you know, but even still, I want to say thank you because everyone worked so hard. They put in their time, they put in their work. So I wanted them to have this moment with you. And if you have any questions for my cast or any questions about the performance or would like to talk to them and ask them anything as far as this performance and what this was like for them, please, now is your time.
This is Shawnee. I know Kadeem, so I know the range of performance. And thank you. I was so pleasantly surprised to see you performing. It just speaks to how Wu is. Like, you and I have this connection, so you were invited into the Wu space to share your gifts, and then you created your own relationships and connections with this community, and it just keeps morphing and growing. So that just warmed my heart. And my share is directed to Mashallah and Tamika, because I don't know your backgrounds. I don't know if you perform, so you'll clarify that. But for either of you who haven't considered performing in this modality, like virtually recording a performance or even performing in general, you know, like what has come up for you as a result of doing it in this way, not performing live, recording yourself, doing it on this platform. There's so many layers that are different than what you're normally accustomed to seeing when it comes to performance. So I'd love to hear from any of you. And then also, not counting you out, Kadeem, I know you're a pivot master, but you can speak about too, what this experience has been, honoring the call from Gina.
I personally, I've never done anything like this. This is actually part of my journey of getting out there. I'm trying to get more into the empowering women space and getting more comfortable in front of a camera. And so when Gina presented this opportunity, surprisingly, I raised my hand very quickly. 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't have. So I'm just honored to be a part of this project. It was so beautiful when I read it. I figured I just had to be part of it. And the story of the manifester fit my life almost identical. So it felt relatable to me and it felt comfortable for me to share.
Yeah, I've never done like a Zoom play before, but I've always been interested in like the idea of acting. I was kind of like in the ensemble role in high school for a musical, and that was a lot of fun. And have done things for my friends a few times, but I've always just, wanted to give something like this a try. And I'm really glad that I was able to be a part of that, and that I was able to have a connection to the story. I feel like this this character really chose me.
Yeah, I echo what the other cast members have said. Just I felt really drawn to Gina's call for actors that have no experience, and so it was exciting to be able to play a part in this. And I love her writing, and I too related a lot to the character that I ended up performing, which was just good to recognize that loss that I think we all know to some degree because of COVID.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you for writing beautiful monologues. Yeah, it was an honor to be part of this. I mean, I haven't done any acting in some time. I used to many moons ago, so it was great to kind of get back into it. Yeah, it felt good to do. I think it's funny in the same way. I guess in some ways, the two monologues that I did do, I kind of in some ways felt connected to them. The first one, where I guess you could say I was a sex worker, not that I'm a sex worker, but that I've connected with other people, really like July 2020, that were sex workers, and I've learned a lot about the industry and sort of the experience. And when I moved to California, whoa, mind blowing in regards to what I was learning about that. So I think for me, like I was like, oh, like this story to me is familiar. So that's why I kind of chose that one. The other one with the bro who got a lot of money and upgraded to a suite apartment, I was like, well, I've upgraded to a suite apartment too. So I'm like, in many ways, that and the end of that is my story. And I think in some ways, maybe like Shawnee, in regards to the work that we do, I realized that during the heat of the pandemic in 2020, that my business also did grow a lot as well, because people needed my work within wellness too. So yeah, grateful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cass. You just all did an amazing job. It was an honor to work with you, and it was my privilege. And for you to say yes and do this and just get out there, it was so much fun. Like it was so much fun. I would find myself working into the night when I should normally be sleeping, because it was so much fun working with your videos and trying to put this together, as frustrating as it was for me. I learned a lot about what I can do as well. And thank you for that. Just a little brief, because I don't want to take too much more of everybody's time, but I'll just let you know that it was different stories. I had already written them. And then we reached out, people said yes. Some people I sent the play to, and they read through the monologues and they said, this is what resonates for me, and I'd like to do this one. Some people, I just said, they said yes. I said, okay, meet me. We just jumped on, we made appointments. We did it on Instagram video. Thanks, Kadeem. That was my first one working with you. I had never used Instagram video chat, but it's been a lifesaver. So in Instagram, we did Instagram video chats, we did Zoom meetings, we did WhatsApp calls around the world, and we figured out which monologue would fit with which person, and I kind of would like go over, talk to the person, get a feel for them, and share a couple of monologues with them, and let them pick, and they could say, yeah, this one worked for me. Mashla, it was sort of by default. She got the last one that was available, but I think it was divine. I think it was divine, as our, one of the younger cast members. I think it was just a perfect fit for her. And unfortunately, some couldn't join us. Like I said, one is in Nigeria, one cast member, and another one is in India. So the times of day is just really different. India, they're 9.5 hours ahead of us, which I didn't know until this. I didn't know anybody was on the half. So they were 9.5 hours ahead of us. Nigeria is 5 hours ahead of us. So they're well into their Sunday already by now. But I still want to thank everybody who couldn't make it here. I'm sending them thank you for participating and again for saying yes. And thank you to the Wu family for saying yes to and logging on today and staying with me and watching the monologues, watching these amazing people do what they do. And I appreciate everything so much. And I just wanted to say that. It's 8:39, so I don't know. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to share before we wrap up?
Yeah. I want to mention that there was a hand raised. Martine, I want to ask Martine if she still wants to share before we close. Martine, are you still with us?
Know how the feeling just fades. I don't even remember what I was going to say at this point. One thing I will say is, on Saturday, I was bragging on myself. My daughter graduated, and I wanted to highlight myself as a single mother who made it without murdering her. And one of the accomplishments that I noted was that I never caught COVID. Well, guess who has COVID right now?
Martine.
I probably had it when I was saying that. So I logged on very late. I saw Kadim's face. Kadim, I love you so much. You don't know me, but I love you. I love you. I love you. And I was in touch with Dakia, looking for one of your sessions to send to Dakia. I've adopted Dakia. So this has been so touching and helpful for me. And I realized that I'm so grateful. And I'm gonna watch the playback, but even for just a little bit that I got this morning, because today, I'm unable to go to my little cousin's graduation. There are two of them. They graduated together with my daughter. They're having a graduation party, and I'm going to miss out on all my family. And I just was really, really sad about it. And then I realized, because one of the main reasons I want to go, I had a speech and everything prepared. I realized I'm suffering from something that killed their father last year. Which is the main reason, the point of my speech and everything. And then just listening to you guys, I'm like, we've come so far, even with managing this thing. I don't agree, especially as a nurse, with how it's been managed. But I mean, for me to be sitting here, able to be here talking to you, and I know a lot of people didn't hit them so hard because it's just such a crazy thing. But that man was on his ventilator for 7 months. And it was an excruciating 7 months, and he succumbed to it. But I think it was like last April, and not being able to see his kids graduate. And I wanted to, represent him in that regard. But you guys are giving me life because we've accomplished so much through COVID, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to say my speech, and somebody is going to Instagram stream it or something. We're gonna make that happen. So Gina, thank you so much for this. This has given me life this morning, and I feel so much better.
I'm glad we can be there for you, and we're sending you healing, with your COVID situation that's going on. And hopefully it'll be a quick one and a nice, easy one. You sound pretty good. So we're just praying that you stay just like that until this COVID wind blows over for you. Thank you for your share. Thank you, Martine. All right, so it's 8:42. So I think it is time for us to wrap up. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, before we move, one last thing. The first person who did the first monologue, Anika Briley, those were her parents that she lost. The couple that we showed, Dr. Briley, Dr. Malcolm Briley, and First Lady Debbie Briley. Those were her parents, and that inspired her. She is also not an actress, has not done anything like this, but was inspired to do this as part of her healing process and grieving process over the recent loss of both of her parents. All right, so we just wanted to raise up the Briley family and all the families who've lost loved ones, or who we could say whose loved ones have transitioned, because no one's ever lost. So whose loved ones have transitioned, and they're not there for them right now physically, but they're here for us all now. Okay, so I just wanted to raise that up as we transition out of this session. And once again, thank you. So with that, admin, I am complete. Okay, so we are, as I said in the beginning, my business is Sankofa Sojourns. And so what we do is we travel together to places of significance to African-American history. And we do some healing experiences. We do some creativity experience. So as well as the history part of it. So our next sojourn will be to the African Burial Ground National Monument in Manhattan, in Lower Manhattan at 290 Broadway on Saturday, June 11th from 11 to 1. So the registration link is here in the flyer. It's bit.ly/Sankofa, the number 2, lowercase Sankofa and the number 2. So if you're in the New York area or will be in the New York area, and you're interested, come on down, spend some time with us that Saturday afternoon. It's indoor and outdoor, so we will be doing some walking. We'll be on our feet for a little while, a couple of hours, but we'll be moving, and it should be fun. And we will be creating some art. Our art this time will be writing. We'll be doing some writing while we're there, and of course, some meditation. Okay, so that is the next sojourn with Sankofa Sojourn. And as my special offer, the first person to email me at sankofasojourns@gmail.com will receive a complimentary excursion with me. You'll be able to come with us on June 11th to the African Burial Ground and have some fun and do some healing. So these are my contacts. This is my contact information. My phone number is 732-882-7387 on Facebook, TikTok, and also I forgot to update Instagram. I'm sorry, admin. So on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, you can find me at Sankofa Sojourns. My email address, as I said, is sankofasojourns@gmail.com. Shawnee, can you take it from here?
Absolutely, with pleasure. Just asking folks to mute if they're able to, so that we can all hear each other. So love offerings and donations. When I think about the offerings that the facilitators provide, the level of ingenuity, creative flow, spontaneity, generosity, and I think about the opportunity as a community that we have to give back in the form of the energy of money. And for those who are visiting in this space, of course, we welcome you to come back. We hope you do. But just to let you know, in the Woo community, our relationship with money is energy flow. So it stands for my own natural energy yield. We are natural manifestors, and we're also natural givers, but we forget that we are that. So today I ask that you work the muscle of giving, because you have received, and let that flow and that reciprocal energy, which is a spiritual principle, come out of you towards Gina and the admin team and the Wake Up Everybody community, so this work and flow can continue. you have that power. So utilize your own natural energy yield by sending a donation through Zelle QuickPay at soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com if you have access to Zelle QuickPay, or use Cash App $Spirit of a Woman. And then when you do send your energy to us, use the code #601GLD, which is like gold, GLD. So send your gold in the form of money Gina's way and towards this new family. Thank you, everyone. And for the old timers, for the Wake Up Everybody community, and some new youngins, folks that are new to the space, we have an automated love offering setup or structure so that you can give monthly and not have to worry about doing it daily during sessions. So here are the options. These are some options. You could always increase the dollar amount or decrease the dollar amount, but these are options, and it's been dropped in the chat so that you can, once again, experience reciprocity. Because I say in this 2.5-year journey of providing Woo sessions, we have provided over like millions of dollars of opportunity, growth and expansion, business offering, special offers. It's invaluable what has been given. And so there should never be hesitation about giving back. And I'm complete.
Okay, thank you, Shawnee. You just do that so well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you could join us on Monday, June 6th, Coach Dion Monsanto will be back for part 2 of It's Not What You Are Eating, It's What's Eating You. So if you saw part 1, which was really, really great, you want to see part 2. If you didn't see part 1, tune in anyway, because you will get something out of it. You will definitely get something out of it. And you have time today to watch the replay on Facebook so that you'll know what happened in part 1 and you'll be ready for part 2. And on Tuesday, if you join us on June 7th, 6/7/22, for Crystal Clear, part 2, Crystals as a Tool of Transformation, by our own Coach Cheryl and by our own Reverend Brandon. So Coach Cheryl Glenn and Reverend Brandon Smith will be facilitating part 2 of this powerhouse of a session. Again, if you didn't see part 1, it is available on Facebook. Join the Facebook group, the Wake Up Everybody Facebook group, and you'll be able to watch all of the sessions on replay. And you'll catch up so that when they start part 2, you'll be ready. The Woo Nation welcomes all new members. Okay, this is a community where we come to learn, elevate, and ascend. So please invite your friends and your family to come today. I know some of you came today because I asked you to watch the monologue. I hope you got something out of it and you'll stay. You'll come as, what do you say, Shawnee? Don't hit it and quit it. You know, stay and be a part of the family. Tamika, I'm putting you on the spot and I'm calling you out. You should be here, okay? Marshala, you should be here. Anna, you should be here. Okay, you're where you belong. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All righty. So the schedule for the Woo Nation, we meet and you can count on us coming from the top of the week, or what might be considered by some as the top of the week, Sunday through Thursday. And on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, like today is Sunday, we have a session from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Sometimes it runs longer, but that's just more juice for you to drink and take in and carry through your week. And then on Monday and Wednesday, we're here for an appetizer session at 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And every week we have a new cast of characters that is going to be leading and facilitating and offering up gold for you to tap into. So please register. And if you want to be alerted and reminded, because some of us need reminders, I know I do, you can type in the number 74121 in a text. And then in the field to share a message, you put Woo Nation in caps, you send it off, and then you'll be added to a list of folks who will receive automated texts on every Sunday through Thursday to remind you to come into the Woo space. So check it out, everybody. And the swag, what we are going to be wearing on our backs this summer can be amplified just by buying a t-shirt, You might want to buy a sweatshirt when you are taking your trips on planes and it's air conditioned, or, wherever you're traveling to. Transition clothes to keep you warm in different spaces. So please buy t-shirts, sweatshirts, also water bottles to stay hydrated. One of the things in WU is about us staying healthy and aligned. You can get a teacup, coffee cup, whatever it is that you indulge in. Or if you don't drink either, you can drink water in the cup. And get masks because it ain't over. Martine just said she contracted COVID, so we need to be wearing masks. I know I was with her in Texas and walking around with no mask on, and nobody in Texas believes that COVID exists. I'm like, oh my God. So carry a tote bag with wake up information on it. It's so pretty when you get it. So please do purchase. And for those who've already purchased, buy another t-shirt. You can't have too many t-shirts. Buy a different color. There's lots of options. All right, so let's move on. That information has been dropped in the chat. And we just want to thank you and ask you to stay in touch. We were touched by your presence, participation, your shares today. So please do keep showing up each morning so that we can engage in the co-creation of power, might, and ascension. Use these links and they will be dropped in the chat for the Facebookers as well as the Zoomers for you to register for this week's sessions, for you to see what the lineup is, for you to be on Facebook, our private and public pages, for you to access us on Instagram, on YouTube, or to email us with ideas, feedback, and love. So info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. But like I said, all of this information is in the chat. So now that we put this out here, what we're going to do is what is customary in the WU space, which is to share love in our own unique way. And that's a love shower. So come off mute, family, and share your love with our beloved sister Gina for what she has imparted to us this morning.
Thank you, Gina, for this great
Thank you,
presentation.
Gina.
Beautiful
Thank
Gina.
you.
Turn a mute
Yes.
writer.
Hala. Thank you, Anna. Thank you,
Thank
Dee.
you, Kat. You're
Yeah,
wonderful.
everyone, and let's move
Yes.
forward.
Amazing,
Mika. Thank
amazing.
you for being
Love
awesome.
you, everyone.
Innovation.
You're amazing.
Much appreciated.
No, 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 no.
Presentation,
Atmosphere was
everybody.
so
Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
Yay.
Woo,
Anna,
we
come on
did it.
Love
back,
Thank
Love
you.
y'all,
Anna.
love y'all,
Come
love
back,
y'all.
Shala.
It was
Come back,
amazing.
Let's move forward.
Mika.
Thank you, family.
Hey.
Thank you, Atmosphere. Y'all rock. Y'all
Awesome
rock,
to
y'all rock, y'all
all.
rock.
Said it.
Breakup,
Thank
sending you
you,
love and
Anna.
healing.